Sorry for the unwanted disturbance. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit together at the table of brotherhood. So, this is the expectation of Martin Luther King, that he thinks that one day the children of Georgia will be able to sit together at the table of brotherhood. They will come close. And there is another dream. I have dreamed that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice. Sweltering means high heat, suffering from high, extreme heat. Heat with the heat of injustice. There is injustice in Mississippi, in the state of Mississippi, sweltering with the heat of oppression, uttachar, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom of justice. So now Mississippi is full of injustice, oppression, etc. And the expectation of Martin Luther King is that one day this state of injustice and oppression will be turned into an oasis of freedom and justice. Oasis Moruddan, a place, peaceful and calm and quiet place in a desert. We know it, oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that one day, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of the character. This is very, very important. This is the personal expectation of Martin Luther King, that one day his 4 little children will be able to join together with the American children, and then they will be judged. That means his children will be judged by the content of the character, by the quality of the character, by the features of the character, not by the color of the skin. This is very, very important. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama with its vicious racists. That means in Alabama there are lots of people who are racists, who don't like the blacks. With its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. That means the governor of Alabama is also bad. All the time he interrupts. Interposition means interrupts. He always intervenes, interrupts the activities of the black people. And frequently he nullifies. Nullification means orders ban, gives ban on the activities of the black people living there. That one day right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. So this is the expectation of Martin Luther King. And his expectation is that one day the screen of division, screen of deprivation, screen of say racism will go out, will go away from the life of the Negroes living in America, and they will find a very peaceful and loving life there. And there will be no differences between the blacks and the white, especially the children, black children and the white children will be able to join together, will be able to join hands together, sit together at the table of brotherhood. So this is the expectation of Martin Luther King. And now the question MCQ question, you know, what is the meaning of the word sweltering in the passage? Uncomfortable, filled with water, comfortable, unpleasantly hot. This is unpleasantly hot, sweltering. What is the meaning of the word languishing in the passage? Languishing, becoming more and more weak. Simplifying, weakening, strengthening, laughing, so weakening. What is the meaning of the word nullification in the passage? Proliferation, vistar, preparation, validation, invalidation. Invalidation মানে বাতিল করে দেওয়া। ভ্যালিডেশন মানে শুদ্ধ করা, ভ্যালিডিটি দেওয়া, ইনভ্যালিডেশন মানে বাতিল করা, নালিফিকেশন। What is the meaning of the word interposition in the passage? Interposition, interruption, corruption, sanitation, observation. This is interruption. Interruption. Take hands into. What does the word manacles refer to the passage? In the passage, manacles, shackles, chain, atar, fetter, comforts, tranquility. So this is fetter means shackles, chain. Manacles means chain or fetter. Now the short question. What do the change of discrimination mean? Change of discrimination mean. And this time I have given some elaboration of the answer. And most of the times I like to write one or two sentences, but this time I have given an elaboration so that you can understand the point, because this passage is to some extent difficult. So to make you understand what is said, what is expressed in the sentences, the question is change of discrimination. And I have written the answer for you. The phrase change of discrimination in the passage refers to the situation of deprivation, which the Negroes suffered from for long. There were enmity and envy, Shutrutta এবং বিদ্বেষ, between the blacks and the whites. The whites used to enjoy the social status of superiority, whereas the Negroes were subjected to various kinds of harassment. All the time they were harassed. Besides, they were deprived of their social and civic rights. They were, in fact, helpless in all respects. So this is the answer of the question, change of discrimination. Number B, the question is how are the Negroes in the change of discrimination? কিভাবে Negroরা change of discrimination এর মধ্যে কিভাবে আছে? The Negroes were the subjects of negligence and deprivation. The whites used to dominate the society and the state. Even the blacks did not have the rights of casting votes in the elections. So they were decisively, finally, neglected as humans. Thus they were in the shackles or change or shackles of discrimination. Question number C. How is the state of Mississippi sweltering? How? In the American state of Mississippi, there were no practice of justice, especially for the blacks. The operations of different types were the usual treatment towards the Negroes. All the time they suffered from racial punishment. So the heat of injustice and cruelty used to scorch or burn the life of the blacks in the region. How are the dreams of Martin Luther King? What are the dreams of the Martin Luther King about his 4 little children? Martin Luther King had a dream that one day in near future there would be no racism. Both the whites and the blacks would live in the country as a single and united nation or unified nation. His little four children would be able to live in the environment of unity and justice. They would be judged by their internal merits and not by their external complexion, that means skin, color of skin. And question number E, how is the governor of the state of Alabama? The governor of Alabama was very much dominating towards the blacks. Often he intervened, took hands, interrupted the affairs of private activities, and on the basis of very insignificant excuse, he imposed ban on any activity. Thus, he used to force a restless situation in the state. So this is the nature of the governor of the Alabama. He was especially dominating over the or towards the blacks. Often he interrupted the affairs of private activities. Of the need of the blacks, and on the basis of very insignificant excuses, he imposed ban on any activity of them, any activity of the Negro. Thus, he used to force a restless situation in the state. So this could be the very good answer, but there may be many alternatives. I am not talking that this is the only answer that can be written. There may be a number of alternatives of the answers. And question number 2, read the following text and make a flow chart showing the situation of the Negro in America. The Negro is still not free, still not free. This is one situation. The life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the change of discrimination. Another condition, Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of vast ocean of material. Lives on a lonely island of poverty. So lives in poverty, in extreme poverty. The Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society, languishing, another suffering. Finds himself exiled. So these are the conditions in which the Negroes are living in America. So the question is situation of the Negro in America. First situation is still not free. Is still not free. Then still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the change of discrimination. Number 3, lives on a lonely island of poverty. Number 4, still languishing in the corners of American society. 5, finds himself an exile in his own land. I have written in a very short form the answer. Situation of the Negro in America is still not free, still sadly crippled, in poverty. That means The Negroes are in poverty, languish in the corners of American society. The Negroes languish in the corners of American society, an exile in his own land. Negro is an exile in his own land. So this is the situation. Language, languishes should be the answer. So what is the condition of you now? You're only two present, so what I see. Anyway, I'm going back. Now the summary. This is a summary of a very important text. Very important text of the traffic police. You know, there is also a poem of the same title. It's a story of a cinema or movie focusing a traffic policeman. The persona, that means personality, persona means personality of a traffic policeman has always been a curious one. It has often found important space and close treatment in literature and other arts. Besides the many poems about this fascinating character, there is at least one movie where the central character is a traffic policeman. In 1963, Greek filmmaker Philippos Phylaktos made this film named My Brother the Traffic Policeman. It featured, that means it has the features. It featured a slightly manic means burglary, madly, traffic policeman. Antonis Picrocolos. Antonis Picrocolos, the name of the policeman, who is utterly devoted to service and duty. So he is very much, too much dutiful, and applies the traffic code with unyielding severity. He is never flexible, he is never weak, he is always strong in giving punishment. That is unyielding severity. কড়াকড়ি, কঠিন কড়াকড়ি. Tickets means fines, rain down. That very frequently he gives fine. He fines. The law is upon the lawbreakers. People who break law are punished by these policemen. In particular, taxi drivers and especially Lampros. Lampros is a taxi driver who happens to be in love with Picrocolos' sister Foucault. Picrocolos' বোন Foucault, তার সঙ্গে এই ল্যাপ্রোসের লাভ অ্যাফেয়ার ছিল। এটা কাকতালি। কিন্তু তিনি কাউকে ছাড় দিতেন না। He did not spare anyone, whoever he or she is. In his turn, the traffic policeman is in love with a businessman's daughter, Kiki. And Kiki is his lover. Kiki is the lover of our police, the traffic police, the hero of the movie, Antonis Picrocolos, who is afraid to reveal her feelings to her father's companion. To her father, I'm sorry. Besides, Antonis has given lots of traffic tickets to a bus belonging to her father's companion. But all these reasons, the road to marriage for both couples. So we see there are two couples. One is Antonis and Kiki, and the other is Antonis' sister and another. Is long and is strewn with obstacles. That means the path of their marriage was not easy, full of obstacles. Strewn means here full of. But the outcome is a happy one for everyone involved. But the result was happy. That means at the end of the story, both the couples got married for their happy life. So you see, the beginning is not very much important. Important is the actually the character Antony's Patroclus, the hero of the movie. That means the story of the movie is important here, not this one. So I have written the summary in the way. Persona means personality, treatment in the passage means dealing. Movie cinema featured, presented, utterly, entirely, or completely, unyielding severity, inflexible unkindness. Tickets means get punished, rain down means are given. Frequently, are frequently given, are frequently given. The summary, the passage holds out the story of a movie. The passage holds out, that means presents the story of a movie. My brother, the traffic police. This is the name of the movie. The central character is a traffic police, Antonis Picropoulos. This is the main person, main concern of the story, who is hyperactive in nature. Hyperactive means too much active, beshi beshi. In Bangla we say beshi beshi. Who is hyperactive in nature. He is extremely devoted to his responsibilities and does not spare a single chance to find the lawbreaker. That means the person, whoever he or she is, must be fined. He doesn't have any chance to spare. He never spares. But he frequently find his, not find, but finds, frequently find his sister's lover and a bus belonging to the father's company of a girl he loves. That means whom he loves. So the relation encounters a lot of troubles. Of course, in the long run, they are happy through marriage. So this is the summary, and I have written the most important points that are the keys of the story. Actually, the beginning, that means the personality of the traffic police is not very much important. The important person in the passage is the traffic police of the movie himself. That means Antonis Picropoulos, because the story of the movie actually develops on the basis of his activities. He is hyperactive, he is manic, and he is very much unkind in giving fine or punishment to the lawbreakers, and he is very much straight. But at the end of the story, we find him to be happy along with another couple. So this is the summary of the passage. So thank you very much, and I am really sorry for the disturbance, unwanted disturbance. Sometimes it happens because this happens due to the technological problems. Sometimes I cannot manage it well. So thank you very much. I don't know how many you are still only one with me. No problem. I think in your leisure time you will uh, watch the video in the YouTube. So thank you very much for this time.